Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Scorched Earth Explorer Notes. Today we're going to cover a bunch more notes, obviously. Basically the area you see in front of me, right here. I'm going to try and be as time efficient as possible this time. I got some constructive criticism on that, so I'm going to try and be more efficient from now on. So we're starting right here. These are roughly the coordinates we're at right now. And let's get started. So we're right here. This is the surrounding area, as you can see. You have all of these spikes, kind of sandstone spikes right here. Then you have the red obelisk on the other side. And you can see a little mountaintop right here with the desert next to it. And if you go to the top of this little hill right here, you can very easily see a pretty big structure right there. Shouldn't be hard to find at all. And if you go behind it, or on top of it, right here, again, if we just slowly move around, you can see the surrounding area. It is Helena Note number 4 at 81.6 by 63.8. So for the next note, we're going to start roughly where we started the first time. So you can see the Explorer note we were just at right there. You can still see the spikes right there. And some more spikes and that sort of mountain chain. Yeah, we're at the same spot. This time you can see that there is a little desert sort of in the middle of this area right here. Like it's inland. It's turning dark. I'm just going to quickly turn the gamma up so you can see better. Maybe 5 actually is better. I don't know. Yeah, that works. Yeah, you want to just basically head towards that desert from this start. Just quickly coordinates right there. So head towards it. You can see those smaller spikes. You should be on your right inside your field of view. And if you just kind of go down from all of this rocky stuff at the bottom here, you should see these 4 pillars with, was it Raia Tablet, I think? It's been so long I forgot the name of these things. Yeah, Raia Tablet number 12 at 76 by 60.3. Then for this third note, we now want to go towards the big spikes, the big sandstone spikes that we saw earlier, right here. So this is the tallest one, flying towards it, and then you can see 2 that are very tall as well, but not as tall. Fly towards, okay, so from the tallest one, you want to fly towards these slightly lower ones. And you want to go to the one on the right. So from the tallest, the one on the right. And if you just look down towards the desert, you can actually see an oasis out there and some ruined structures over there. If you look out in the desert, or if you look down, out in the desert and down amongst these other spikes, you can see a very big ruin. Just quickly, if you are curious on exactly where we are, here's the coordinates of the rough area. And basically underneath these spikes, I mean, you can just search these spikes really, it's not that hard. You see this massive ruin right here, and there's another Raya tablet. This time it is Raya tablet number 11 at 76.7 by 69.1. And then for note number 4, we want to head to this little pocket of water right here at roughly this location. You can see the spikes that we were just at right behind us, but you want to, well, you want to have them behind you. That's the correct way of saying it. Have those behind you. Stand roughly at the end of this little river, dried up riverbed, whatever. Look to your right. You can see some more spikes in the distance there. And you can see a ruin, like right there. Pretty easy if you kind of search around this lake. You should find this ruin pretty easily. And it is Helena Note number 25 at 72.4 by 70.8. Then for note number 5, I believe, you want to go towards the smaller spikes. So you can see the big spikes in the distance. You can see that little kind of lake that we were at. This time you want to kind of go towards the smaller spikes that you should see from there. And those should lead you to this little tiny desert surrounded by all this other stuff. And in the middle of this desert, as you can very easily see right there, here's just rough coordinates in case you're wondering. But you can see this very obvious ruin right here. It's not very well hidden. And it has a water source, 3 little pillar things, and right next to one of them, you can find a Raia Tablet number 5 at 69.9 by 59.3. And for this 6th note, you can see the ruin that we were just at in the desert. And from that ruin, you can see the spikes there. On the other side, if you continue looking with the spikes behind your back, you can see this kind of sandstone cliff. And basically, when you go on top of this thing, you should see some skeletons in the distance there. You just look straight forward with the spikes behind you. Again, just rough coordinates in case you need those. And if you go towards that, like, skeleton, and you look a little bit to your right there, you should see a ruin. So, that's a good marker. And here is the ruin right now. And if we search this thing, there it is. Behind the little remaining structure that isn't completely broken. Dahkeya note number 26 at 65.3 by 55.5. Then we're heading back to the kind of dried up river. This time we're at the end of one of these sandstone mountain thingies. So you can see one of them here, and then you can see another one here, and there's a gap in between. And you can see the... Is that the blue obelisk? Actually, let's turn the gamma down. No, that's the green obelisk. Okay. Or maybe I'm colorblind. I don't know. But you see an obelisk in between anyway. So there's one note on either side. You can actually see one right there. But first we want to pay our attention south. And you can see that there is a note on the cliff there. So there's some water down here. This one is probably easiest to do when you're flying. But you can see there's water right here. And if you look towards kind of the end of that, and you should see on the cliff side right there, this ruin with a question mark note. This is question mark number 5 at 63.2 by 61.4. And as we've already spotted the next note here, if you go to the other mountain, so this is the end of this one, get across this little gap, and you can see very clearly a ruin right there. It's pretty darn big. Right here. So, riverbed on this side, mountain, and you see this ruin right here. And somewhere, I'm not quite sure actually, because I'm finding these for the first time as well, but should be a note here somewhere. Let's try and find it. There it is. There it is. It's Decay note. No, Raia tablet, I mean. Number 24 at 60 by 59.3. Then we gotta move a little bit further north or up the riverbed. So this time we are at the end of the next mountain. So that's the one we just found a note at. Which you can not really see from here. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, so that's the first gap, and this is the second gap, and you see there's another third mountain coming in here. These are just roughly the coordinates again. And this time we need to, well, this one is a little trickier to find, at least from this, like from the top here, but, so here we have the start of this mountain. You can see there is a little kind of spike, or I don't know, sandstone that kind of diagonally sticks up there. Go towards that. And if you look down towards the water there, or like the dried up riverbed, straight down you can see that there's a ruin on the cliffside here. Right here. Obviously easier to see from down there, but you need to either use a thyla or jump down from the top to get it, so might as well show it from the top. Rockwell number 19 at 54.9 by 55.9. This next one is a little bit in the middle of nowhere, so I'm gonna do my best to try and show it to you, but Right now, we are roughly at these coordinates. That is the mountain that we were just at earlier. So that's where we found the note. Then you want to kind of go back towards the second mountain. As you can see, 1, 2, 3. And you can see how there is a gap here, like a kind of strange looking gap right there. You want to angle, or like you want to stand roughly where that gap is. You can see the dried up riverbed right there. And if you look this way, you should see another one of those type of mountains straight ahead. And an obelisk, I'm assuming that's a green one, on your right. So if you move up from the riverbed right there, you move up, you can see that there is like this cliff type of thing right here. And if you go on top of this cliff, you should see that there is another one coming. So this is number one, and then number 2. See, there's a cliff, starts right there, follow it a little bit, and it has a little like inlet right here, or whatever. And you can find this ruin. Maybe not the best explanation, but I think it was a decent one, I guess. Raia Tablet number 20 at 54.8 by 61.4. Just gonna show you where it is. Again, just a quick pan around. There it is. Okay, so the final note of the day is kind of hard to explain because it's literally sort of in the middle of nowhere, but I'm gonna probably just mainly use coordinates for this one. But this is roughly where we are at the map. If you look at the actual map and not the coordinates there, you can see how we are literally at the 60-70 spot, like the intersection. You can see the grid. So that should lead you straight to this note. But if you want just some idea of the surroundings, we have a sandstone mountain over here, like in the distance. We have the green obelisk there, to the left of that. Spikes. To the, what would that be, the east? No, actually the southeast. And then to the west we have another mountain with the red obelisk behind it. And then the blue obelisk and stuff in the distance. That's too far away to really matter. But if you are here, this is what the very nearby surroundings looks like. We have the dried riverbed not too far away. And then a cliff sort of thing over here. But if you go to the intersection, if you go to 60-70 basically, it should be pretty easy to spot this one. It's 4 pillars, it's a pretty big ruin right there. And it is Helena Note number 24 at 60.1 by 70.6. Again, 60-70. It's pretty easy to find on the map, even without a GPS. And with that note, we have covered everything for today's video. If you did enjoy this one, or more specifically, if you found it helpful, then I would really appreciate a subscribe and a like. We're actually getting kind of close to 2,000 subscribers, and it would be really cool if we could reach that by the end of this year. So if you could subscribe, that would be great. And check out some other stuff on the channel if you want to as well. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.